You probably know people who are smarter than you, more capable, more insightful, more aware. And yet, they are poorer, more constrained, more anxious about the future. Meanwhile, others, not particularly intelligent, not especially creative, move up, get promoted, gain access. This is not an accident. The modern system does not reward intelligence. It rewards predictability. And predictability looks a lot like obedience. Not loud obedience. Not marching in the street obedience. Quiet obedience. Procedural obedience. Behavior that fits smoothly into existing structures. If you ever felt that being too aware made life harder instead of easier, this video is for you. From a young age, you are told a simple story. Be smart, think critically, ask questions. But pay attention to what actually gets rewarded. In school, the best students are rarely the most original thinkers. They are the most compliant with expectations. They understand what the teacher wants, how assignments should look, what answers are acceptable. The system doesn't punish intelligence. It just doesn't need it. Because intelligence introduces friction, smart people ask why a rule exists. Notice inefficiencies, see contradictions, resist meaningless procedures, and resistance, even quiet resistance, slows systems down. So, over time, a subtle lesson is learned, not consciously, behaviorally. Do not be difficult. Do not overthink. Do not challenge the frame. This is how intelligence becomes self-censored. Systems don't care about your potential. They care about outcomes that can be measured. And what can be measured most easily? Compliance, consistency, repeatability. Think about large organizations. They scale by standardization, not by brilliance. A system with 10,000 employees cannot rely on intelligence. It relies on procedures, checklists, protocols, approvals. These structures require people who will follow instructions accurately, repeat tasks without reinterpretation, behave the same way tomorrow as they did today. Intelligence disrupts this. Because intelligent people adapt, they optimize, they change behavior when conditions change. That sounds good in theory. In practice, it destabilizes systems built on uniformity. So incentives evolve accordingly. You are rewarded not for thinking better, but for fitting better. Promotions go to those who don't challenge leadership publicly, don't redesign processes without permission, don't introduce uncertainty. This is not corruption. It's structural necessity. Most people still believe in a simplified idea of merit. Work hard. Be smart. You'll be rewarded. But real systems don't operate on abstract merit. They operate on risk management. From the system's perspective, intelligence is unpredictable, and obedience is low risk. An obedient person won't embarrass the organization, won't create internal conflict, won't question authority at the wrong time. An intelligent person might do all three. So when two people compete, one slightly smarter, the other slightly safer. The safer one wins, not because they are better, because they are less dangerous. This is why many highly intelligent individuals feel blocked. They are not failing. They are simply misaligned with the incentive structure. Look at corporate environments. The most innovative thinkers are often consultants, external advisors, temporary disruptors, rarely long-term insiders. Why? Because insiders must preserve stability. Now look at politics, or academia, or large institutions. Progress happens slowly, not because people are stupid, but because bold intelligence threatens continuity. Even in creative industries, the pattern holds. Truly original thinkers struggle financially, remain marginal, gain recognition late, or never. While those who replicate existing formats succeed. The system rewards reliability, not insight. Here is the part no one talks about. Living below your cognitive capacity creates tension. You start to feel bored but anxious, capable but trapped, aware but powerless. This tension is often mislabeled as lack of motivation, burnout, imposter syndrome. But the real issue is structural mismatch. You are trying to express intelligence inside a system designed to suppress it. Over time, people adapt by shrinking. They become quieter, less curious, less sharp. Not because they lost intelligence, but because intelligence became expensive. Here is the uncomfortable truth. The system is not broken. It is functioning exactly as designed. Once you see that, something changes. You stop asking, why don't they value intelligence? And start asking, where is intelligence actually rewarded? The answer is not inside rigid systems. It's at the edges, in flexible structures, and in environments where outcomes matter more than conformity. This is why entrepreneurship attracts intelligent misfits. Not because it's easier, but because intelligence finally becomes useful. If you feel constrained despite being capable, it's not a personal failure. It's a signal. The system doesn't want more intelligence. It wants less friction. And once you understand that, you can stop trying to be smarter inside the system and start choosing systems that can actually handle you. Because intelligence was never the problem. It was just inconvenient. If you don't see this, nothing dramatic will happen. You won't fail publicly. You won't collapse. You won't lose. You will simply keep trying to win inside a game that was never designed to reward what you actually bring. You will optimize your behavior. Tone yourself down. Choose your words carefully. Learn when to stay quiet. Not because you are afraid, but because resistance feels inefficient. Your intelligence will slowly turn inward. It will become analysis without movement, awareness without leverage. You'll start asking questions like, what am I missing? Why does this feel harder for me? Why does everyone else seem fine? And the most dangerous part is this. You will assume the problem is personal, a mindset issue, a discipline issue, a confidence issue. But nothing will be solved, because the structure remains the same. This is not punishment. It is simply what happens when intelligence is applied in an environment that doesn't need it. When you see it, nothing external changes right away. Your job looks the same. The system behaves the same. People reward the same patterns. But something subtle shifts. You stop confusing obedience with stability. You stop mistaking silence for peace. You stop interpreting friction as failure. You begin to notice patterns instead of reacting to them. You recognize which spaces reward predictability and which ones tolerate deviation. You no longer try to explain yourself to people who don't control outcomes, not out of arrogance, out of clarity. You realize that intelligence is not a virtue inside systems. It's a variable. And variables are managed, not celebrated. Your life doesn't become louder. It becomes quieter. You argue less, not because you agree, but because you understand the cost. You stop volunteering insight where it creates friction without return. You conserve energy, attention, cognitive effort. You start building margins, parallel options, escape velocity, not as rebellion, not as ambition, but as alignment. Because once you see the system clearly, you stop asking it to reward you, and that changes everything. Next, we look at the psychological cost. What happens when intelligence learns to stay quiet? Quiet control continues.